While we get going, we're going to run a poll. Which of these would have the biggest impact on your practice right now? AI that helps diagnose portfolio issues, smarter tax loss harvesting across long and short positions, household level rebalancing across grouped accounts, or the ever popular other. Comment what you want to see. There's chat, there's Q&A. You can use them all. But we are going to wait just one more minute and then dive in.
Your pick, Johnny. Which do you think has the biggest impact on practices right now?
Man, in current practice, I would probably say smarter tax loss harvesting would be the number one most appreciated innovation. But I think that the AI is fast coming around the corner to take over that top spot, right? Like I think that be able to ask the system questions about a rebalance or about a tax loss harvesting opportunity and then have it take you to the end state. Increasingly, it's just going to change how advisors think about how they interact with software, right?
Yep.
Like the first, we're getting away from fintech for a second, but like the first real innovation in computing for a mass consumer base was when you got like the visual UI, right? Be able to like point and click and do stuff. Got out of terminal. And now AI is like the next evolution of how we interact with software. So just you kind of remove the UI almost, right? So it's going to be fascinating to see how that happens.
Really, really thoughtful answer.
Yeah. Well, let's dig in and let's get started. You ready to do this?
Let's do it.
All right. So welcome everybody to today's live event. Already mentioned, we've got that live poll running. Cast your vote. We'll bring up the results here later on. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So today we're going to take a look at what's been happening inside Alphathena over the last quarter. And there's a lot to cover, but we're going to just kind of pinpoint down to some of the biggest, most important items. So this is our Q2 product update session. And yeah, I mean, like I said, the team has been doing so much that we can't possibly cover it all in 30 minutes. So we'll hit those highlights. I'm Johnny Sandquist of Three Crowns Marketing. I'm a fractional CMO and marketing strategist for fintechs and advisors. I am your host. Josh Harris, as always, is the real star of the show. Josh is VP of Growth over at Alphathena, the Agentic asset management platform for advisors. So Josh, Q2 was busy. How are you feeling about what the team shipped?
Feeling great. Yeah, Q2 was busy but exciting, both from a client growth perspective, growing our existing client base, but also from a product perspective, which I'm excited to dive into today. But a lot of new enhancements, a lot of new innovations that have come from client feedback, client needs, but also our own ideology. So I'm looking forward to showcasing some of those today.
Absolutely, man. Well, I don't want to take too much more time, but a couple housekeeping items. We are recording, as always. We'll send the file out after, and we will do a Q&A at the end if anybody has questions. So use the chat, use the comments, drop those in wherever you are watching. We'll find it. We'll talk about it. Okay, so let's cover. Next 30 minutes, we're going to walk through what I think AI agents that you shipped, smarter tax loss harvesting, household rebalancing workflows. Josh, let's start with the AI agents. I know I just said that, those are on the come. These are powered by Athena AI. 2 months ago in one of these webinars, we covered the first agent that handles portfolio transitions, but now Athena is expanding into new territory. So, what problems are these agents designed to solve? What do their abilities look like in practice? Take us through.
Yeah. So we did cover portfolio transitions. That was kind of our first release or beta run with Athena all plugged into the system. So as a reminder for those who weren't able to join us during that webinar, this portfolio transition tool enables the advisor to kind of mock up some scenarios for how to effectively and tax efficiently transition their client portfolios over to a target, whether that be a model portfolio or direct index, and do so in the most tax efficient way, managing kind of the capital gains budget and some of the setting some different constraints there. So what Athena does there is it will effectively create the scenarios, probabilistic scenarios for the advisor, given the inputs that it has, being the existing portfolio, unrealized gains and losses, maybe some cash in there, but also the target portfolio. What you want, what the end goal for that portfolio is. And so what we've done is we envision Athena AI evolving and supporting a lot of different functionality on the Alphathena platform. And I think in what we're solving right now is we're solving for inefficient workflows currently. So portfolio transitions being one of them, tax loss harvesting, you mentioned it, Johnny, rebalancing, and all of those in an agentic form to kind of reduce the amount of time taken or needed to take to do these activities. And so the thing to understand with these three new functionalities where we've implemented Athena is they all kind of come back to the same problem, which is inefficiency. And so the decision to trade is the easy part. Everything between execution and a decision could eat up an advisor's day. And so that would include things like building the order, checking cash, screening for wash sales, picking lots, routing to the custodian, reconciling. That work is all manual. It's repetitive. It doesn't really scale. And our opinion is that an advisor who wants to run unique strategies across a whole book ends up either hiring an ops person or cutting corners. And so what we've done here is leaned on Athena, our AI agent, to do a lot of the analysis and interact with the advisor or the user on a day-to-day basis. So I'll share my screen here and we can just kind of dive into the platform, and I'll walk you through kind of what's new and what's exciting and how it's effectively enhancing some of our legacy capabilities.
Sounds awesome, man. I'm excited to see it in action here. So, which one are you going to focus on? Are you going to take us through orders agent, or what are you
Yeah,
going
I'm gonna start with the orders agent. So, and then we'll go from the orders agent to tax loss harvesting. I'm gonna kind of work backwards. We're gonna start with orders, and then I'm gonna show you what happens before the order, before you interact in a post order with the post order UI UX. I'm gonna go to tax loss harvesting, and then I'll show you kind of rebalance, and then I'll talk a little bit about where we think this is headed and how is going to help. So all of the trading activity done on the platform, right? Investing cash, freeing up cash, rebalancing, tax loss harvesting, just one-off trades. All of those trades are, because we're custodian agnostic and we integrate directly with the custodians. It's a bi-directional integration. So we ingest data every day directly from the custodians. It's Schwab, Fidelity, Interactive Brokers, Raymond James. We're working on a few others. We ingest the data into the platform. So that's direction number one. Inward, outward from the platform, going to the custodian is a fixed connection. So the trades are sent directly, they're executed from our platform at the custodian. Those trade orders are just sent via that fixed connection. Once you submit those trades, you can come to our order management system. This OMS will show you all of your trades done today. I'm just, kind of backing this up. This is just a demo environment. So I'm backing the number of days up so that you can see the orders that have filled here, but you'll see the account. It's instantaneous. You'll see the account that it's assigned to, if it's a buy or a sell, the quantity, market value. You can click on and expand the order status detail there, and then you'll see order history. So if a trade, is rejected or held, you can ask Athena, what's happening here, and it will answer to each one of your questions, right? Explain the order, where did it get filled, what did it get filled for, the order life cycle. That'll basically pull in the timestamps. And so this is where it becomes interactive. If an advisor submits a trade to the custodian and has a question or just wants to test out Athena to make sure it's working correctly. And then you shouldn't have to. Yeah, it's always important to reconcile at directly at the custodian, but you should see the full order history here, and all of the order generation is instantaneous.
So I imagine what kind of the process now, if a trader is held or rejected, you are either making a call to like a customer service rep, or you're going through doing manual recon, exploring maybe the reason for that trade status. And here, Athena is basically closing that gap, right, and getting you to the answer.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It doesn't happen, too often, but we do see orders reject or be held for a certain amount of time throughout the trading day. And yeah, exactly right, Johnny. It's these are critical events, and so they deserve a quick response and diagnosis. And we've heard feedback from several of our clients about you know uh, wait times, slow turnaround times from some of the custodians. The reality of it is it's not necessarily all their fault. With scale, they have hundreds of thousands of accounts to support. Thousands of RIA, tens of thousands of RIAs and wealth platforms to support on a day to day basis. So naturally, I think you're going to be faced with the hurdles of scalability there, but this is going to get you a direct answer instantaneously.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's really neat how it can just kind of plug in and grab that intelligence and turn this into more of a two-way dialogue. I think is how I think of it rather than just one-way input. You want to move over then to tax loss harvesting, or is there anything else that you want to show us on order management here?
But we can shift over to TLH.
So yeah, so I know earlier, just just recently, I'm not sure how many months ago it's been now, but you guys released the ability to do long short direct indexing. Now you're making upgrades and improving it across the board. And so walk us through what's changed here. What are you doing with tax loss harvesting? Why is it better?
Yeah, yeah. So about 6 months ago, we released long short direct indexing. And with that, you can invest in S&P 500 or Russell indices and do long short strategies on Alphathena directly. So those long short strategies can go anywhere from 1% leverage all the way up to 100%. We see a lot of RIAs using our platform to run 130-30 or 140-40 strategies. And if in terms of creating a direct index, it's as easy as creating a long only direct index. You just add a leverage, an amount of leverage, and set your constraints and a factor tilt. It's all factor tilt based. And so that's yeah, we've done that. There are obviously external inputs associated with running long short strategies, whether or not your custodian supports it, if the account is marginable or not. And things of that nature. So if viewers are interested in learning more about a long short strategy on our platform, we'd love to chat about that, but also worth talking to the custodian. There are other things, other considerations like short interest, borrowing costs, and things like that. So, but yeah, what it does is it just maximizes tax efficiency in a taxable account relative to a long only portfolio that might have losses dry up over time or ossify after a number of years. Long short strategies, effectively all weather. It's you'll no matter which way the market moves, you will always have opportunities to take losses, and so it's effective, really effective tax strategy. With tax loss harvesting, this is a long short strategy that I set up a while back. It's benchmarked to the S&P. Last trading I did was in December, so it's been a while, but you'll see some of the losses here generated from the short and long sides of this portfolio. If I click harvest, it'll give those losses. And what it's doing here is it's all rules based. It's a rules based algorithm that will show you the losses in your portfolio. So you would work with us during onboarding to set up all of these thresholds. Once the holdings cross those thresholds, they'll basically present themselves here. Tax loss harvesting is a job that rewards doing it constantly and kind of punishes it doing once a year. And so this rules based process scans continuously for losses. It respects the wash sale window across the whole household. So if you assign multiple accounts to a household, it will read through all of those accounts to ensure or prevent you or alert you that there is a wash sale. And this TLH functionality will present replacements for you, replacement securities that will keep your tracking error in line with where you want it to be. And so it's effective in two ways: tax efficiency, but also from a rebalance perspective and portfolio correlation, if you will. It's going to help you keep your tracking error low. So here are your losses down here. You'll see some of them are coming from long, some of them are short positions, and it'll showcase your tax impact up here. So this is point in time, how much you would save the client if you executed these orders right now. Again, if I click optimize replacements, the system is going to present those replacements that are trying to get you the same exposure as your target. In this case, is the S&P 500. So it's trying to bring down that tracking error and find replacements that will do that. Typically, they're drift based or tracking error based. And so you're kind of killing two birds with one stone here, so to speak. So yeah, benefit of about, what was that, 73 basis points of tracking error, which is pretty good. You'll see what it's replacing. Again, I can preview the orders, see this trade blotter here, pop up right here, are the trades. You can set a reason for the trades down here, say tax loss harvesting. And then, yeah, we have Athena right here on the side here. And I can ask it things like, why is it replacing, why is it buying, all of these units of Apple, Nvidia? How much is the estimated tax benefit? How is Alphathena calculating that? Which positions have wash sale issues? And I can click one of the pre-populated questions or type my own, and it will, again, Johnny, give you Athena is completely probabilistic across all of our platforms. So it's looking through every time you run it, it's going to give you, if you run it across different accounts, it's giving you different answers given the different data and input. So this is basically telling us no positions have wash sales. Here are a few considerations for wash sale hygiene going forward. And it's, basically saying, in short, this harvest is wash sale clean. Right? Can ask another question. How are you calculating tax impact?
And as that runs, if I'm understanding things right, I think what Athena is really doing here is it's tapping into the existing optimization engine that you guys have been focused on building, and that's really like the bedrock of the Alphathena platform as a whole. So it's creating like a pretty cool transparency layer like into the software itself and just all the equations it's running.
It is, yeah. It's insightful, it's educational, and yeah, all of the optimization on the platform is based off of our proprietary optimization engine. So yeah, that is at the core of what we're doing here. So yeah, you can see the core formula for tax impact, right? Realized loss by the applicable tax rate, tax savings, they're all long term. So that is tax loss harvesting, Johnny.
Awesome. Cool, man. Well, let's dig into the final update that I think we're going to highlight in today's session. And again, this isn't everything. We just kind of picked three of the coolest updates we wanted to highlight. And I think this is one a lot of firms with larger, more complex client rosters would be excited about, which is household level rebalancing. So, talking about that, how do group accounts looked? What's the daily processes that are being improved, and just how's that household level rebalancing function in the Alphathena platform?
Yeah. So we have the ability to create households on the platform. That's effectively assigning certain accounts to that household and assigning strategies to the accounts. With that, you can do several things. You can manage models to those accounts. You can do things like asset location optimization. You can create sleeves for managed and unmanaged strategies, right? So if you're working with a fixed income manager, an SMA manager externally, and we need to kind of carve out a sleeve within the portfolio here for that asset class, for that strategy, we can do that and kind of maintain each individual sleeve here. So when we ingest all of the data from the custodians, we'll have all the accounts, and you can manage those accounts accordingly, right? So just pulling up one of these households, it looks like we have 2 IRAs in there, and you can assign specific groups, account groups to those, or strategies to those accounts. When you go to rebalance, you can select the account and it will pull in grouped accounts as well as all of the sleeves within those accounts. Let me keep adding some models here and just show you kind of what it looks like. So you see some accounts. These have households, but it looks like they're just single accounts. What this is going to do is it's going to start running. So it's going to start rebalancing both for sleeves within accounts, but also If they're just single accounts, the rebalancer will run for, sleeved out accounts. It will tell you the drift, which is pretty important. And then you'll have tracking error as well.
Okay.
From there, you can place trades to rebalance the individual sleeves, the accounts within the households. And so, yeah, I can, once it's done running, optimizing, I can ask Athena questions about it and kind of interact with it even before I submit the trades.
You jumped ahead to my next question, which is I was going to say, as this is running, is Athena also baked into this area of the system? And I sounds like it is. So it's just kind of like that intelligence layer that's sitting through all these most common ways that an advisor's interacting with the platform every day.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's not meant to replace the work that's being done or replace advisors or portfolio managers, analysts. It's really about arming them with the best solutions to do their work efficiently and effectively. So whereas a rebalance might have taken hours before, now it can be done in less than a couple minutes. Any answers to your questions can be facilitated by Athena, and that's really what it's all about.
I think that point you said, which is so important, is it's not replacing. It's not meant to replace any advisor or even role within the firm, right? It's a purely a efficiency and effectiveness upgrade across the board.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
While we're letting that run, I'm actually going to ask for your take on something. So we've covered some big updates while barely scratching the surface of everything you guys did in Q2. And I should mention, I think if there's any Alphathena clients who are watching right now, if you want to get the full rundown on all the updates that happen in the platform within the software when you're logged in, you can just go to the top right, check out notifications, and go to release notes and see all these things. But I mean, zoom us out for a second, Josh. So like you've shipped all these new AI agents, you've shipped smarter tax loss harvesting, household rebalancing, sleeve lot matching updates, did this all in one quarter. When you put these things together, what do you think that tells advisors about the direction Alphathena is heading in?
Yeah, I think the through line is that none of this takes the advisor out of the seat. We're not a custodian. We're not discretionary. The agents do the assembly work. You review, you approve, you execute. We're calling this. I mentioned this before, but agentic augmentation. And the point around that is fairly simple. It's give one advisor the operational reach of a full ops desk or team of analysts. And most firms can't run portfolios or direct indexing at scale because the manual load caps them. Every account they personalize means more trades to build. It means a lot more lots to screen, more drift to watch. So continuously harvesting and household level tax coordination get reserved for the biggest clients, and everyone else just gets a model portfolio. When the agent carries a lot of that work, a 20-person shop can deliver the customization that used to take an institutional trading desk, quite a few days. So every client really gets the good treatment across the full book of business at the RIA. It's not just the top ones, and it also compounds. So one agent handling transitions is just a small feature on Alphathena, but you have transitions, order management, harvesting, and rebalancing all working off the same book. They're all aware of each other. That's the real leverage. And so the harvesting agent that I showed earlier isn't undoing the rebalancing agent. It's all working together systematically. And the order agent knows exactly what both did. And so that's where we're headed with our agentic asset management platform. We're calling it AMP. Athena is the engine, and our roadmap is just more agents covering more of the workflow for advisors and RIAs out there. The advisor sets the intent and approves everything. The judgment stays human, and the agents do a lot of the grunt work.
But man, music to everybody's ears. Get the grunt work done faster, right? That's awesome. Anything you wanna jump back into before we kind of start to wrap things up today?
I think we covered a lot of it. I mean, here are our release notes. This was April, but we did things like drift-based reassignment, advanced covariance matrix and fast factor risk modeling, multi-currency and margin-aware portfolio management. We covered these agents. count alerts. We're doing a lot, and I'm sure we'll continue to cover new releasements or new enhancements and releases as they come out. But yeah, we covered a lot today. Just want to keep it kind of high level, and if any members of our audience want to have a more in depth discussion about these features or kind of where we're headed, I'd love to chat.
Do you have a slide with your info on it, or should we just say it verbally on the best way to get in touch with you?
Don't have a slide today, but
Okay.
email is josh.harris@alphathena.com. You can reach out to myself, Johnny, any of our awesome team members on LinkedIn, or find us directly through the website, alphathena.com. You can contact us there, book a demo directly from the site.
Get
So
that scheduled.
plenty of ways
Get
to.
that scheduled demo. Pick the time on the calendar. Get
That's
it going.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Awesome, man. Well, that actually puts us like exactly at time, 30 minutes. So everybody watching, thank you for joining. And yeah, like Josh said, if you want to see any of those updates, at work inside your own specific workflows, reach out to any of us. We will get you set up. And please mark those calendars for July 29, 2 p.m. Eastern, same time as today, different day of the month. Our next live session is going to be a live walkthrough of tax loss harvesting on demand. So we took like a 2-minute look at some tax loss harvesting. We're going to get into the details, right, of how easy Alphathena makes it to identify harvesting opportunities, run the replacements, minimize deviation. We just did that very, very briefly today. We're going to go through the full end to end workflow next time so you can see exactly how that looks. So, invites for that coming soon. I think that does it for us. So, thanks for watching. Josh, thanks for doing this.
Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and
All right.
enjoy your fourth. Happy fourth to everybody. And there's a big soccer game happening later, so
Absolutely.
go,
Enjoy the
go
World Cup.
USA.
Enjoy the fourth. And see you guys next time.
Take care, everybody. Thanks.